So now this is being streamed only on YouTube. How am I getting this message on Facebook here? Strange. Probably that was a comment on last stream, and because I'm not even using this restream right now, this can actually be go on. So yeah, this doesn't seem really bad. At least it's consistently same quality, rather than going like blurred every now and then. Cool. Seems like this is going to work. But sadly this will not be streamed on other platforms, which is not very bad. Hello and welcome. Well, this was not very smooth. I was looking at the issues with the quality of my streams. Figured out one of the reason was this service I was using called Restream, which just streams to multiple platforms at the same time. I switched back to only YouTube, which has improved a bit on the quality, which I can see is still not the best. I've stepped down to 720p Anyways, so in this video I am going to go over not go over any topic, but I'll be working on a project. So I got some suggestions that I need to work on, like project-based tutorials. So I came up with this quiz app where you'll render like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of quiz question and answers laid out in these columns and stuff, and there'll be a right answer and there'll be wrong answers. If you select the right answer, it turns green. You're taken to next question. Wrong answers, I don't know, resets the quiz. Yeah, but basically we will look at the success steps more, because yeah, wrong questions leads to game over, so you'll just start over. There won't be any lifelines or such. So the basic idea is I wanted to have this quizzes on my streams, like showing live as an overlay. So that will be kind of useful project for me myself as well. And this is supposed to be in Nepali, right? Yes. So I'll just do the whole thing. I'll be working on React app, and we'll be seeing this overlay on the video. Let's check out how it's going to work out, because I myself am not very sure about it. Let's begin. So here is this ReactJs, Create ReactJs app that I bootstrapped using Create React app, which I showed you on my first video. You just use this command here, right? npx create react app, your app name. That will just install everything, all the React dependencies and everything on your project folder, which I've done already. And I have this source folder with all the default files, and this one here is the quiz data file that I created before this, which contains an array of questions. Right now there's no scoring or anything like that. We just have questions, and we have options to show on the screen, and we have answer, so which will be used to see if the selected answer is correct or not. With that, we're ready to crack on. Our app.js has this thing there. Let me add an overlay to the stream so that you can see what's going on. Give me a second. Localhost 3000. Right, this will be 1920 times, say 500. Yeah. Right, Samandra, thanks for your help. So the overlay is there, but it's quite empty right now. I need to run yarn start. Oops, yarn start. So that will run the app there. I just need to hide and show these. It's still trying to run it. Okay, I see it running on my browser already. Oh, there. So that's the app, which is taking up all the space there. What I'll do is I'll change the style to get rid of those backgrounds and everything. Actually, I don't even need any of those, right? I'll just get rid of the... Oh, there are two styles. There you go. So we have all these things going on here. We just get rid of everything but the app div. And so we'll have a component called quiz, which will be our quiz component. Create a new file called quiz.js. Right now I'm not going to create a folder or anything like that. Const quiz equals why did this add this thing here? Right. It's been a while. Been a while since I wrote any React. We don't need a properties. No, export actually. Export default quiz. And nope, I don't want to export default. I will just oh my god, what's going on? So we have a component now. Quiz needs to be imported. There you go. So now we have our own component. Oh, still not defined. /quiz. Quiz. Okay, it's just nothing was returned from render, so this should return something. This should return a JSX. I don't know. Oh my god, what the oh. What? This Copilot pilot thing is just messing around. So I will have this overlay with like transparent gray boxes, and we'll have white text over it. So H1 will be our question, and then we'll have some answers buttons, right? So for example, wait, let H1 be like topic of the quiz. For example, we have JavaScript quiz. Is this QUIZ quiz? Okay. So that's our topic, and we will have a question in H2. Who wants okay, I'll just bring over the question from here. What is the index of first? So this quiz, actually I thought of it for my previous video on JavaScript's array methods. Class name answers, and this will have buttons. It's quite invisible there. So I'll add some style to this. Class name equals quiz. This will, I'll just use one CSS file here. .quiz will have a background. And quiz will have color. Ooh. Color of white. Now you'll see the text properly there, and the overlay has a like translucent background. I'll just add some padding to rem or something. Right, and I'll just say body will have display flex, and quiz will have height 100%. Nope, doesn't work. So there's app thing as well then. Yes, we don't want this either, so let's just get rid of it. So now, what are we looking at now? Oh, there is this root again, which is coming from the HTML. Let's say root, no, hash root. Probably this, all the CSS was already in there. Display flex height 100%. So even body needs height. Let's say 100 VH. So VH is one of the units. Let me remove the margin. So VH and VW are this percentage unit, like percentage of viewport's height and percentage of viewport width, respectively. So what's happening here is we're setting body's height to be 100% of the viewport's height, which is the height of the window. And what it's doing right now is it's extending body's height to whatever is visible on the browser. Without this, the body will be limited to the content, hugging the content. So now this adds this overlay all the way to the bottom of the page. So here now I can say this. Wait, I'll have to change a bit of configuration here. I will limit the width to something like 1600 and height to 300. So now I can push it down. So we also need width for this one. There as well. So now it's covering the whole width. So with that, can you read it? For some reason I'm getting really bad quality stream right now on YouTube. I don't know if it's just me. I'll just close it. Probably that is using up my processor memory and stuff. So I just closed it. Let's ignore that for now. Just let me know if you're watching and you see issues with the video quality. I'll try to look on that later. So now let's move on with the actual things. React stuff. Let me go to quiz.js and see. There you go. We're just using static values there. Let's import it from the file js array quiz.js const because it's an array of questions. Say questions equals, oh, actually it's import questions from dots So it's default exported, so we should be getting all the questions in that questions array. This is not the best way to do it, as this could be inside app. Get rid of unused stuff there. Alright, so here we can say we got the questions. I'll just pass it into the quiz component via questions property, and questions property will just use questions, and what that should do is inside our quiz component we should be able to access the questions props, and we should be able to use it here. So if I just loop over that questions, actually we don't even need all the questions at once. What we need is inside our app we should be just selecting one of the questions and passing it in. So or what we can do is we just pass in the questions here like this, and we maintain all the states and everything in this quiz app. So quiz app itself will be stateful, and everything related to quiz will be handled inside this component. So instead of doing everything inside app, we will do everything inside quiz. That's just a decision you have to make. So that's why even questions could have been important from quiz quiz component. Let's do now we have all the questions. We don't want to loop over it and show all the questions because we want to show one question at a time. So what I will do is we'll have current question index or something like that, so that we can show one question there. Say const so that's it. So current question is 0, and use state needs to be imported. Right. So, oops, use state. I know why this happens. It just reloads twice. So current question and set current questions. We got that from use state hook. So use state hook is this hook that allows you to define your states. So your state is current question, which is initialized with 0. So since we are using index here, this is the first object in this array, which is this one. So question options answer index, right? So from here what we can do is this part will use our current questions data. So this one should be questions dot current question dot questions question. So many questions. This should show the same question. If I change it to 2, should change the question: how to add an element to the end of an array. So that looks working. And for the options, we'll just have to loop over this thing. We have options dot map. So map is this array function that allows you to iterate over each option and allows you to return whatever you want. In our case, we want to return a button with button with the value from that option, right? So now you'll see push, unshift, pop, shift. So those are your options. We'll have to style them, but before that, let's check if changing the question to different one still works. One. Did work. What is the index of last element, right? Showing questions is now working. What we can do is this can be a component on its own, which we'll look at in a bit. So what we need to do is, if I press one of those buttons, what it should do is it should compare if that's like the index of that button is matches the one in answer index. So we need on-click handler here should do something like select answer, actually we'll need to pass this into anonymous function. Oh, why did it remove it? Yeah, select answer, and I need index or I. So I'll just use I for index. So here I'll get I from this array's map. I'll just pass that in to select answer method or function, which I will define here as select. Right, so now this should exactly do this. So right now I'm just selecting the answer, and all it's doing is switching the question to the next one. I'll try clicking on one of these and it should switch to another question, which is working fine. You won't see that on the overlay because I'm testing that on another browser, so the overlay, it is not interactive. I can't click on those. Yeah, it's not possible. So yeah, I can just show you here. So here, if I keep clicking on those buttons, no matter what, it will just switch to the next question. That's what I was seeing on my screen. All right. So I'll add a font to index CSS. Anonymous Pro. Am I even using this? No. Okay. I was using this font for my overlays, so I just thought, why not use it here as well? Spartan, yeah, this one here. I just add it to the HTML. Where's my HTML? Index.html in public here. I'll just add it here so that now I can use Spartan. On my index CSS, I'll just add it to body. Now you'll see the font I've been using on my overlays in that quiz, which is awesome. So now switching question is working fine. Now we need to check if the selected answer is correct. For that, in our select answer function, we'll check the answer, which is the index of the button with answer index from questions, current question, dot answer index, right? So what this does is from question this, where did this come from? So the index you selected, does it match answer index in current question? If it does, do this, else I don't know, just alert for now. Right, so I've lost my browser. So here. Oh, wrong answer. So what is the index of last element in an array? It's array's length -1. So that was correct. So it switched now to the next question. How to add an element to the end of an array? I would say pop, which is a wrong answer. So you'll get this alert. So all seems working fine. Now instead of just jumping to next question, what I want to do is I want to show the screen bling 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 background on the button, and if that was a wrong one, then bling 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 with the red one. So for that I would like to design the buttons a bit. Right now we're just seeing plain HTML buttons. For that I will add a class name to our button, answer. So answer button maybe, or with the dash. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you use camel case or with these dashes, but convention is using dashes in class names, so I'm just following that. I think we removed app.css from app.js, so I just deleted the file. So now, did I copy it? Yes, I did. So our answer button will be background will be RGBA. This again, this will add a bit more darkness to the background. Color as always white, and we're seeing the updates, right? So padding, padding, nice. No, so padding, I think padding is okay. What I want to do is put them in 2 columns, so they'll have width of 50%. There you go. Huh. That's already looking awesome. So now seems padding is a bit too much. Let's do it 1 rem. Nice. I would like it to have a bigger font size. Font size 3 2 rem probably. Nice. So hey, so if you look at this one here, I can show you how it reacts on click. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Awesome. So far we used mostly CSS to style them, and we used some states, we used a property just to use it. What else? Now we're in a position where we want some delays and stuff. So before I switch to next question, I want to add a class on that selected button, which will add blinking background to it, depending on if it's the right answer or not, for which I can already add class to this, or wait, let's use another state. Selected answer or something, which will tell us which answer is selected, and you can even have this like state where you're like not exposing the answer already, but you have this suspense kind of thing going on. How about that? So but what triggers yeah, we can just have a delay. So we have current selected answer, which will activate this bling 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 suspense, and once like there's timeout of like 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds it compares or it could actually already compare it and like decide already, but after that delay it will just expose the correct answer, or say the results, and it stays there for another 5 seconds before moving on to another question or saying the game is over. Sorry. So let's do that. So all the thing will happen in a bit. So I can add a timeout here, already set timeout. So let's say 2 seconds, and we add all this into this bracket here. So whatever is happening here will just take 2 seconds to trigger. So if I go here and check, it took 2 seconds to show that pop-up. Yeah, so whatever we do will take 2 seconds. So, and for that 2 seconds, what it will do is add some suspense. What we'll do is we'll add a state called a selected answer, for example. Do I have to set null explicitly? So selected answer will be set as soon as this is pressed, and what we'll do is selected answer will add a class to this one. So I'll add a npm package called class names, which will add this package, which allows you to add multiple class names in a like nicer way. So I can add class names here and say the answer button will always be there. I just want extra class names depending on some conditions. So current answer or whatever, selected answer matches my current matches my index, say selected, otherwise empty. What this will do is it will add selected class once this here is triggered, and let's make our selected button a bit different. It should be some version of this. Selected will have, say, a little bit yellow to it. Say 50. So now if I click, yes, it's happening. So if I click, I'm seeing that yellow background, which should actually blink. So to have that blink, I will use animation, for which I will have to define keyframes for blink, right? From, or let's say, depends. Like at 0%, I want the background to be some color. So let's say this thing here. So it will change from, I think it's easier than that. Background this to background 0. Right, oops. So this will just add this opacity in the background. Let's use animation, name blink, duration every second, every half a second. Right, let's just try this. Oops, what's this? Here. So this should already do it in to infinity. Okay, it's not doing it. Oh, 0%, 0%. Let's make it 50% because and in 100% it goes back to illuminated. Alright. So what this will do is in 1/4 of a second it will go, it will disappear, and in 1/4 of a second it comes back. So maybe it's too fast, but let's see. Doesn't work. Why is it not working? Let's inspect. So that's how we learn. We make mistakes and we learn. So select it. Doesn't have that style yet. Why? I don't know. I thought I saved it, but I don't see that style there. Also, to keep running it for infinity, I might just need to add that thing here. There you go. So now it will just blink forever. So this adds a bit of, I don't know. Do you even see it? So maybe I'll just increase the opacity for the right. Oopsie daisy. So let's change it from 0.8 to 0.9. and also infinite. So oopsie daisy. Man, this is okay. Let's change it from 50 to 70. It just needs to be visible, like the highlights. Now it looks good. Only thing is I'm seeing that border on those buttons, which I don't like. So I will just remove them. Border none. Cool. Or border 1 pixel solid. Not white, but something probably 555. Oh. Okay, not bad. So my overlay here, yeah. I'll have to add a bit of height to this one here. So that see a bit more. Okay. Nice. I want the question to be a bit bigger. So our quiz has H2 font size 2 rem. Probably that's too big. Nope, it's not that big. Yeah. Alright. So maybe I will reduce the H1 size because that's not very important for us. Yeah, just random numbers. Okay, now that looks proportionate. Click on infinity, it goes blue, 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 blim. Hey, wrong question, wrong answer. Bloom, 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 bloom. Tuksh. Wrong answer. Bloom, 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 bloom. Poo. Oh, see? So now we have another problem, which is we haven't. I'll just move it back there. We haven't handled right answer. I don't know why my quiz.js was not there. So yeah, so if the answer was wrong, now for that again I will just add another state called is correct. Whoa, that's nice. So is correct is going to be set if the selected answer is right. Alright, so I'll do that here. Oops, what did I get there? Set is correct true, and else I'll just remove this hey now because we'll be handling this in a proper way. Oops, there's an if okay, so if answer is correct, set is correct to true. Even this one will have some delay. I can actually just copy delays here. So this will take another 1 second to get to another question, and this will just set correct to false, right? And now if this answer is correct, then correct. Else incorrect. So now this will just add this correct or incorrect anyway. We'll have to know if we are in a state where we want to know if it's correct or incorrect. So that will So in this situation, we could have used an object as a state where I have selected an answer. This is the index of the answer. Is it correct or not? And things like that. So we don't have a whole lot of states. But just to understand, this is also fine. Now, also is correct is right now just Boolean true or false, right? What I want to do there is to have 3 options, yes, no, and not ready or something. Right? So that might be a better solution to this, because the problem we are having right now is we can say it's correct or not, but we want to know if we want to use that is correct flag to show red background or green background, for which we can have another state saying like suspense is over is true or false, but that's going to be one more state for not a huge value. If we have this is correct state to be something like suspense state or something. So I'll just change all is correct to suspense state. This doesn't sound very nice, but what I wanted to do here is so all this set suspense state to have 3 different states. It's either right answer, wrong answer, not ready, right? So if I have these 3 strings set to this state, what I can do is I can be not ready, where I don't want to show the background blinking in different colors. If it's set to correct answer, or answer is correct answer, then it will be used to blink that in different color, and for another case as well. So let's do it like this. So I can just initiate it as not ready, right? Yeah, if you're using a lot of Boolean states, you might just want to think once if you want so many Boolean states. So instead of having Boolean state, try to think of an enum states like this, which will just makes distinct states instead of combination of 2, like is ready plus is correct is equals boom, your state. Is not ready and is correct doesn't have to be a state, because you don't need it, you're not doing anything in such state. So let state be a state with a meaning, instead of like combination of booleans. If just a boolean is enough for you, then that's also fine. But yeah, in this case, for example, we have not ready, where we don't want to use is correct at all. So let's go on how this will change it. So now instead of true or false, I will set them to correct and so there are now 3 states in this suspense state. Yeah, the name is still weird, I know, but here now this will change a bit. If suspense state is, so now here we can compare if it's correct, or we can just use suspense state as a class here. What this will do is it will just add the state to the button, and this might just be in our parent class, where it's just, yeah, it can be in a parent. Like can get rid of this and say answers, or even quiz will have class. Oops. Hi Moktan, welcome to the video. Sorry, I missed your message there. Yeah, welcome. Class names. So this will have multiple classes, and one of them will be always quiz, and another will be suspense state. So now this state will always be known in our CSS. So now from here, what we can do is, only if that state is correct, right, we will change these background colors to something else, right? Here, So blink will just go away once button selected is removed. So blink should only be shown if it's not ready, right? So selected and dot or dot not. This is weird. So if it's not ready and button is selected, do this yellow blinky blinky. See? So what happens, I click something, it went to a state where it's never going to go back. So I clicked that, it blinked until the current state was changed from not ready to something else, probably incorrect or something. So we need to now use that to show something different on our oopsie. So not ready will be blinking that thing, and ready or correct. Let's start with incorrect. Yeah, we could have used lowercase letters in those class names, but for now, now if you see here, it's still blinking. Which means even for incorrect we are doing the same thing, but say the one which is selected, and if it's incorrect, what we want to do is we want to increase a bit of red. We'll say 150 and just change it to that. So now it's already there. If I click on N, it blinks for that 3 seconds and it switches to red because it was an incorrect answer. Similarly, we can use correct to show it in a green background. For green, I will just use 150 on the green side. So now, which is the right answer to this? Let me refresh. What is the index of the last element in an array? Green. Yeah, so it switched the color and then it changed the question, which is what we asked it to do. And now from there, it's correct. Wait for another second and go to another question. I would say let's wait for 3 seconds. Also 3 seconds here, so it will be more kind of suspense and you have time to see what's happening. Let's refresh. Wrong answer, blink blink blink, goes red. Right answer goes blink 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 and green. So here what's not working is we didn't set the suspense state to not ready once it's set to correct or incorrect. So we're setting it to incorrect, but yeah, problem is we are able to click the right answer once it's failed, which I think is a good idea. So say the incorrect state will only last for another 3 seconds, and it will be set to not ready again. So as that will be needed here as well, because as you see, when the question is changed, it still stayed green. So for both of these, we will have to use not ready once it's time to move on. So there you go. So set to incorrect, wait for another 3 seconds, and set it to not ready. Right? So if I refresh, bling 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 bling, red. Oh. It's still selected. Wait, what's going on here? Was it set to not ready? Yes. So selected but not ready. That's the stage right now. So once your states start becoming this complex, it's better to use some state management libraries. Like Redux is quite popular, and XState is, I think, is also a good one. So they allow you to manage your states in a better way, instead of like going this crazy thing. Now, yeah, so our state is, it's not ready, but it's selected. And what's happening is correct if that's the state you want. But what happened is we selected, we set it to ready, and it was incorrect. And we set state to not ready, but the selection is still active. So either we unselect it, right? The most the thing that makes most sense is to set it to not selected, right? So setting it back to not ready is already you might even need that in an actual app. Why did we do it for the first time? So why did we do it in the first place? Set suspense state to not ready. That made sense for moving on to next question. So if I try to do that on here, it turns green, 3 seconds, and it moves on to another question. But selection is still there. So we will need to set it to not selected. So set selected answer should be gone. So on both cases we can do this. So Redux will be really helpful here, but we're not there yet in our tutorials. So I'll try to just limit the use of things like states and everything in this tutorial. We'll get to reducers and all those advanced stuffs later in this tutorial series, so just wait for it. We'll be there. So for now, we were trying to unselect the answer So set selected answer to nothing. So I'll say no, and do that as well here as well. Oh, where did I copy that? I don't even remember copying it. Oh. Sorry. I'm really bad at typing and talking at the same time. Just didn't even remember I already pasted those. So now, if I refresh, wrong answer goes red, goes back to the state as if nothing was selected. Right answer, suspense, right answer, goes to next question. So now our quiz is working. What else do you need? It's working, right? For this overlay to work, so my initial idea was to use this quiz on my overlay so that I can do like live quizzes after some tutorials. So as you see, these questions are from the tutorial I did yesterday on JavaScript array methods, and these questions could have been like this overlay comes up after the tutorial is done, and I ask these questions and like press the right answer and it switches to the next question, add some animation to that, and you have this kind of play quiz with me at the end. For that I will need a bit of socket magic here. I will try to create a new tutorial on socket communication, WebSockets, where what you can do is you can use another browser to communicate with the server where you're talking using socket. So there are multiple clients talking to the server. One is asking server to switch the question, for example, to another one, like picking the answer, sending that to server, and servers like responding, like broadcasting that to all the other clients. So that's all possible with sockets, and it's quite interesting. I have created few games, like real-time games, using Socket.io. You might find them in my GitHub. Yeah. So basically, even the tutorial title and this overlay on the top there somewhere there, that's also all handled with Socket.io. Yeah, I'll just work on that offline because that's not part of React. And once that quiz is ready, I will be using it on my video, my live streams, so that you can just enjoy the quizzes after a tutorial. Cool. So we didn't do like scores and anything here, but this one was quite intensive regarding states. So for the app itself is not very complex, but the states can get quite complex with the complexity of your application. So here, as you saw, probably it's just set timeouts and everything, delays, that were adding that complexity. But even this state for being ready or not, and true and false, and all that starts making your state quite complex. And yeah, as I mentioned, there are tools to handle those, like reducers, Redux actually. Xdebug, I haven't used Xdebug myself, but it might be a good solution, which I'll look at later on. So that was it. Several states, props. I mentioned it in the beginning, but I didn't do it, which is having this thing in a separate component where each of these will be just props passed in, so that it's much cleaner here. So that was it. I will be back with follow-ups on the ReactJs tutorial. But for now, we are done with our project. There was a bit of React plus some stylings, like these animations. Ooh, if I click all of them, it's weird. So we didn't handle clear timeouts, right? Which is a problem. One thing is, it should already lock all the options once you have selected one of them, which is the actual solution to this problem. But in many cases, you might just want to cancel the timeout that's already triggered and add a new one. So if this was, if the quiz has to have this feature of, you know, change your mind, change your selection, and it's still valid as a valid, then it should be handled in such way. You should be clearing the timeout that was already set and start a new timeout. So for that, you can if it's being used in another scope, you will just have to define it here. Wait, this can be interesting because we're in React. So we can like add a reference to, let me go back to this view. Oh, array methods map, that's not the chapter we're on. Yes. Okay, so we can like keep a reference to the timeout, actually timeout. So this is a reference to this timeout. So if the timeout is set and it's not resolved yet, you have a chance to cancel it before it's resolved. So whenever you're selecting a new answer and you already see the timeout is not null, oops, if timeout, right, if timeout is already set, I can say this. So what this does is there was already a timeout in progress, cancel that and start a new one here, right? So if there was already one and here yeah, I have used this in React as well, but I don't remember. There might be an issue with this. Let's see if there's any error. Well, each in maps we need a key for each app, for each child. Anyways, so click there, click there, click there, click there. No. It's not. Oh. How to add an element to the end of an array? Blah 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 blah. It's not clearing it because I think it's just creating new timeout instance every time this render happens. So we'll need a reference, use reference hook, which we haven't talked about yet. So let's keep that for later. But if this was just pure JavaScript, then this is what you would do before adding a new new timeout. Just clear it if it's set. So timeout is set. You come back here. You just clear that timeout so that it will not be resolved again, and it adds a new timeout. But also that's not even what we want in our app. So what it should actually do is it should just lock everything once the timeout is set, once the set selected answer is called. I think I can just add disabled to each button. Disabled if selected, it was already there. Dance. What is no? Disable if it's not null. Which is just if it has some value, right? And what else can we use? Let's just see what this does. Where are we still using timeout? Oops. Now in, oh, it's disabled. What? Surely this is... It's always disabled. What? Select answer. Man. So there's select answer, which is our function, and there's selected. See. So here now what happens is, if there's a selected answer active, you will not be able to click any other buttons, right? So now it's selected. Now nothing is selected anymore. Now I can select something, but it didn't work as well. So it's not just undefined, but any truthy value, right? So it can be just undefined or null or whatever, because they are two different things. So now this is red and it's back to not selected, so you can click again and you just need to wait until the selection is gone. Now you can select another answer, but meantime you can't click any other options. So yeah, that's how it should have been. Ooh, what just happened? Oh, it well, I need to think a bit more than this. So it's disabled when the answer is selected. Selected answer is, initially it's just null, say, and once it's selected, from here it's selected, so it should not be clickable until it gets here or here, right? Which is either it's already switched to the next question, or it's just gone back from this suspense state and this incorrect state. Yep. That should work. Let me refresh. I select this, I select that. Because this is index 0. Wow, really? Because selected answer can also be 0, which is a falsy value, right? So this I've been switching between both of these for, yeah. So now that it's always initialized with null, and we're setting it back to null whenever it's done. So now this should work, because initially it was either set to undefined or null, we didn't know, but now it should be fine because I initialized it with null every time. So now there's 0, the current answer is 0, which is a falsy value, but it's not null. So now this is working fine. So see, now we can be clicking on N when it's ready, and it should be just fine. Click on this one, same thing, until it's on to another question, right? So this is how it should have worked. Awesome. Yeah, that's it. That's it for today. We built a simple quiz app using React. Hope that was interesting and helpful, and you learned a little bit of React. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on what kind of app or what kind of project I should be working on, so that you can learn what you want to learn, for that, please add a comment to this video or reach me somehow so that it's more interesting to you. If you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and like this video if you did like it, and I'll see you on the next one.